Welcome to Epic Recovery, where we embark on the transformative journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Join us as we unlock the secrets to genuine recovery, embracing our infinite possibilities, and forging an extraordinary life filled with purpose and profound meaning. Epic Recovery starts now.
Hello, Epic people. Welcome back to this week's show. I'm really excited to be here with you today. I have a great topic in mind, and it's one that is one of the most difficult parts of recovery and sobriety for people to grasp. So that's why I want to talk about this, and this is why I want to really explain for me what this is actually all about. Because I think everything hinges on this. And this is about acceptance. You know, for the 12 steppers, you have heard about acceptance, accepting that we are addicts or alcoholics, accepting that we are fallible, accepting that we're not the best parents, spouses, employees that we could be. It's about accepting our shortcomings. And the first part of the sobriety process is admitting that we're an addict, admitting that we're an alcoholic, admitting that our life is falling apart and we're the ones who have to take responsibility for that. That is the first step, admitting. And, 12 steppers, we talk about admitting powerlessness. And that's really important, because as soon as I want to exert power into I can control this, I can make it better, I have proven over and over and over and over and over times a gazillion, my best efforts cannot change it. I am powerless over my addiction. And yes, it made my life unmanageable. Absolutely. So admitting is the first step by far. But what really helps it to sink in is acceptance. Admitting we're an addict or an alcoholic, that's the first step. Accepting that fact that, yes, I am an addict and I will be for the rest of my life. This is a disease and it's not going away. It's like if you have, there are a lot of people who have cancer and it goes into remission, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to come back. Once you have it, there's a much greater chance of it coming back. And, one of the differences between cancer or diabetes, there are things that people can do, but for the most part, it can come back whenever. Addiction, alcoholism addiction, whatever your addiction is, when we accept that this is a part of who we are, we have that choice, whether we're going to pick up that first one, whether we're going to have that, whether we're going to have that first drink, whether we're going to have that first joint, whether we're going to have that first line, whatever it is, we choose that. And that's what gets us started again. Some people say, oh yeah, it's that third drink that always gets me. No, it's the first one that gets you. Someone gave me this analogy. If you're going to get hit by a train, which car is the one that's going to kill you? It's the first one. Absolutely. So one is too many and 1,000's never enough for us. So by admitting that we're powerless, admitting I have done my best to control this thing and it didn't work. So there better be something out there that can help me. And for me, it was the support group. For me, it was a power greater than myself, which at the beginning were the support groups, the 12-step meetings, and the ocean. Those were my higher powers. And through that, I learned the power of acceptance. I am an addict, and I will be for the rest of my life. And I can look at that as a bad thing or something that's wrong with me. Oh, I'm an addict. Oh my God, there's something really seriously wrong with me. No, because I'm not a bad person trying to get good. I'm a sick person that wants to get well. Addiction is a disease, whether it's sex addiction, food addiction, love addiction, whatever it is. It's a disease that affects the body and the mind, and it takes over when we let it. And by accepting we have this, I accept I am an addict and I will be the rest of my life. There's a freedom that comes along with that. There's a freedom that comes along with surrender. And surrender does not mean giving up. A lot of people feel that giving up is a tool of the ego. And what recovery is about, why I talk about epic recovery, that's about building self-esteem. That's about truly coming clean with who you are, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I mean, I have good, bad, and ugly inside of me. And the ugly, 99.9% of the time, I'm aware of it. I see when it's starting to creep up and I honor it. I respect it, but I say, please don't come out right now. It's not in our best interest for you to show your face. So I don't get ugly like I used to. Every now and then, ugly will come out. When someone changes lanes right in front of me, the dragon comes out. But for the most part, it's not a part of who I am. So the good is where I like to focus. And how I do that is by accepting that the bad and the ugly are still there, and they always will be. And it's mostly within my control, because if I continue to do good in my life, good tends to come in, although still there are some things that I need to deal with on a regular basis that are unpleasant, that are difficult to do, that hurt, that bring on fear and sadness. But again, the cool part about recovery and the cool part about this process of building self-esteem in your recovery is you allow every feeling to come out. And I know I've talked about that before. Honoring your feelings, get to know your feelings. And once you admit that you have the disease, you accept that you have the disease, then it's easier to accept that you have fear, that you have sadness, that you have hurt, that you have frustration, disappointment, happiness, joy, curiosity. I mean, there's so many feelings all over the spectrum. And I truly believe that until you truly know your sadness and your hurt, you won't truly know your joy and your happiness. Man, I mean, when I go to Disney World or Disneyland, that little 7-year-old Randy just comes out and loves to play. And it is so fulfilling to me to be in that space. And if I didn't know my sadness and my hurt, I would not be able to experience my joy and my happiness as extensively as I do. And I truly feel that the reason that I'm there, very basis and foundation of this thing, is that I've accepted the worst parts. I am not perfect. I am fallible. I make mistakes regularly. But today I own them. I believe it's important to keep our side of the street clean. We don't sweep our stuff onto someone else's yard. We don't try to hide it under the carpet. When we push things under the carpet, all it does, it makes things easier to trip on when you walk across the carpet. You got to get that stuff out of here, own it, take responsibility for it, and then trash it. Another analogy I use sometimes is, it used to really bug me when the gardeners started using the blowers rather than a rake, because the blowers just push it to other places. Ooh, look at my lawn. It's beautiful right now. You just blew everything out to everybody and everything around you. But with the rake, you get to clean up the mess and throw it away. So use your rake, not the blower, when it comes to dealing with your shit, because we all have shit to deal with. And the better you deal with it, the more effectively you deal with it, the more you accept that it's there and it's yours and it's okay. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Own it and move beyond it. no matter what it is. My sponsor, when I was telling him some of the stuff that happened to me when I was younger, he didn't judge me for it. He didn't, oh, you did that? He never did that. He listened. And he said, wow, the cool part, you never have to do that again. Accept where you are, move beyond it, and life is going to be better than you could ever imagine. And it has been. Oh man, I have a life today. I never, ever, never, ever, ever would have imagined that my life could be this good and that I could learn this much and that I could be the person that I am today. I think I talked about this last week, but I still think about it. I went into a store and I bought some things and I'm talking to the cashier and it's like, how's your day going? And we're talking and she was so awesome. And as I was leaving, she said, I just want to tell you that I really appreciate your energy. There's a really good energy about you. Thank you. Wow, I appreciate that. Do you think people said that about me when I was in active addiction? Hell no. Or even early recovery? No. But now I've done the work and it's difficult. I'm not going to tell you, hey, easy peasy, just deal with your shit and get out your rake and do this stuff. No, it's hard. It's difficult. But I'm here to tell you firsthand, when you get to the other side, it's more beautiful than you could even imagine. And the first step is admitting. Second step, foundational step, is accepting. I remember the first time I read page 449 in the big book, and it changed my life. I haven't said it in a long time. Let me see what I can do with it. It says, acceptance is the answer to all of my problems today. When I am disturbed, it is because I find some person, place, thing, or situation, some fact of my life unacceptable to me. And I can find no serenity until I accept that person, place, thing, or situation as being exactly the way it is supposed to be at this moment. Nothing, absolutely nothing happens in God's world by mistake. Until I could accept my addiction, I could not stay sober. Unless I accept life completely on life's terms, I cannot be happy. I need to concentrate more on what needs to be changed in me as on what needs to be changed in you and in the world. AA and acceptance have taught me that there is a bit of good in the worst of us and a bit of bad in the best of us, that we are all children of God and we each have a right to be here. When I complain about me or about you, I'm complaining about God's handiwork, and I'm saying that I know better than God. Ooh, I still remember it. And again, replace God with whatever your form of higher power is, whether it's ocean, universe, the energy, source, whatever it is. But it's just easier to say God. But acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. And when I do that, when I accept life exactly as it is, and I'm not, there's some things I'm going to change, things in my life where it's like, ooh, yeah, that's something I want to change. That's a pattern I want to break. But I accept it for being what it is today. But how do I want it to be tomorrow? Am I ready to do, am I willing to do the work to change that pattern? Because sometimes my answer is, no, I'm not ready yet. And it's okay if it's not yet, because you will get there. Man, there are patterns that I'm still doing 40 years later. So don't think that your process has to be perfect. Perfect is an illusion. Perfect is, it's a tool of the ego. So if you put your focus on what can I do today to make my life and myself better, that is doable. That you can definitely do. What can I do today to be of service to others? That's every morning I wake up. And part of my morning check-in is show me what I can do to be of service today. And today is an easy one because I'm doing this. When I do my recordings, this is one of the main ways that I'm of service today. There are other ways. Through my book, which is out there on Amazon, is a way for me to be of service. My coaching, that's being of service, but I kind of feel like when I'm getting income from something, I don't think that's more service, but that's my business provides a service. But service is when I do something. Well, no, you know what? Now that I think about it, my coaching is being of service because there are so many other things that I could do, but I'm choosing to do this. I have a bunch of people giving me a lot of grief about, why don't you just go get a regular job and make a lot of money and do what you were doing before? And I probably could make a lot more money and do all this kind of stuff, but that's not what it's about to me. Today, it's about being of service to you. And what can I do to help you live a better life, a happier life, a more fulfilling life? And that's what my goal is through the book and my coaching and through this and other upcoming things that we have coming pretty soon. I'm excited to share it with you, but not yet. So I'm really excited about what the future has in store, but it's about being of service today. And that's part of my daily plan, to be of service. So start with that. Start with your morning. I think I talked about it last week on this episode about starting your day with positive thoughts, positive actions. And when you do that, it sets your day up for success. And, accept that things aren't perfect. There are things going on right now that you probably don't want to have happen. But what is it you can do today to start accepting those things and to maybe moving beyond them? Because, yeah, you can do it. Shit, man, if I can do it, you can do it. I have gone through some shit in my recovery. And every time I got knocked down, I got back up, sometimes slowly, but every single time I got back up. And that's the message here. Accept where you are, accept who you are. You can do it. Absolutely, you can do it. And again, if I can do it, you can do it. For those of you in 12-step groups or other support groups, you've seen other people. I remember going to meetings and hearing people share. I'm like, oh my God, I never did that shit. Or oh my God, he did that? Whoa. Mine was bad enough for me. I don't have to compare me with anybody else. Mine took me to a bottom that I don't want another bottom. So today, I'm in acceptance that today I'm in recovery. And this journey is so worth it. I got to tell you, man, it is so worth it. So I am glad you're watching this or listening to this, but this is just one step. You can walk around with a hammer, but that means that everything else is a nail. If it's not a nail, yeah, you're in trouble. So look for a variety of different tools, whether it's exercise, whether it's yoga, meditation, qigong, tai chi, reading books, journaling is a phenomenal tool. Oh my God. I used to hate journaling. When my shrink first told me to start journaling, I was so pissed. It's like, I don't know what to write. My first thought, here's where I was at in my life. When my therapist said, have you ever journaled? I'm like, I'm not going to journal. Journaling's for girls, right? That's where I used to be. That used to be my mindset. Oh, it was so limiting. And he laughed and he said, journaling is for people who want to get better. I was like, shit, fine, I'll journal. He said, every day for 2 weeks, I want you to journal. I don't care what you write or how much you write, but you got to write. And I didn't want to do it. And my first journal entry, he said, it doesn't matter how much I write or what I write. I put, I don't know what to write. That was my first journal entry. But over time, I realized the benefit of journaling. And it was one of my favorite tools. I haven't done journaling in a while. You know what? Now that I say that, I think that might be really helpful right now with the books that I'm reading and everything else that I'm doing to take care of myself. And, I just did this transition to San Diego and I'm finally starting to settle in and feeling good. I feel amazing being here. Oh my God, this has been phenomenal. And now some really cool things are starting to happen. But in order to maintain that, I want to do more things to take care of me. So I think journaling is going to help. I think I'm going to start doing that. Hold me accountable. I'm going to hopefully remember. Oh my God, my memory is shot. I don't know if it's the weed or COVID brain fog or getting older. I don't know. But if I remember, I'll report back next week about how I'm doing with my journaling, because I know it would be of benefit right now. because there's so much happening, personal life, professional life, and journaling helps me to kind of focus in and to get all the chatter out of my head to be able to really focus. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be my commitment to you, that I'm on this path and on this journey too. And it's about never being done. It's not like, oh, when I get to 40, I won't have to do this anymore. No, when I get to 50, I won't have to do this. No, I want to be in a growth mindset until the day I die. I want this to be how I live my life. There are always things to learn, always ways to grow, always things that I can do better. So I'm excited about that most of the time. Sometimes, oh, you know what? Sometimes I just want to be done. Oh, when all this stuff starts happening and it's like, God, how much more do I have to go through? How many more things? Can I just be done? And I hear the universe laugh. No, we got more in store for you. You're not done yet. So I get back up, get out of the chair, start walking again, and I look for the next indicated thing. What do I need to do next? And every time I put the effort in, the results are pretty friggin' amazing. So yeah, I'll keep going. You keep going. Yes, there are gonna be times where you're gonna be discouraged. And I will tell you, this is something that happens. This is like one of the things that the universe does. And it's part of the book, The Alchemist. Read The Alchemist. Oh my God, that book changed my life. And I just read it again. I haven't read it in like 20 years. And I read it again. And it was more spot on now than I remember back then. And he talks about when you get closer to reaching your goals, the universe gives you tests to see if you're really serious and really want those. So things are going to all of a sudden seem difficult, and you're going to trudge even harder to walk through it. But the universe is kind of saying, do you really want this? So kind of like with my business here. How important is it for me for this to truly be successful? And there have been some challenges recently, and it makes me think, do I really want to do this? But the answer is yes. I am going to keep doing this because this is important. The message of recovery over sobriety is really important. So that's why I'm going to keep talking about this. Unless something happens, it's like, whoop, we're going to make a right turn now. But I don't see a right turn happening anytime soon. So I'm going to be here with you on this journey. So, as we keep going, let me know if you're getting anything out of this. Let me know. Are you enjoying this? What kind of comments do you have? Is there anything you want me to talk more about? Is there anything you want me to talk less about? This is your show. I'm just the host. But if I'm giving messages that you don't want to hear, I want to know what you do want to hear. So feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to shoot me an email. If there's anything I can do to support you, whether it's just through here, whether it's through coaching, let me know. Let me know. Because yes, you can do this. And the starting point is acceptance. Accept where you're at. Look at where you want to be, but accept where you are and what are the steps you need to take in order to get where you want to be. So acceptance is the answer to all problems today. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it. I did. Oh man, I get to start journaling again. I'm glad I did this. So now I get to start practicing one of my favorite tools again. So have an awesome week. I hope it is awesome for you. I hope magical things happen in your life. And I wish you well in your recovery. Have a good one, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for joining us on Epic Recovery. Remember, every obstacle you overcome is a testament to your heroic spirit. Conquer your fears, unlock your potential, and write the epic tale of your life's journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep striving for the extraordinary.